Welcome to the Give and Go. My name's Tim.
My name is Emmanuel.
And today we're going to be going through the Final Four, our predictions, and breaking down the game one by one. So first up, I'm going to be talking about South Carolina Gonzaga. So South Carolina has been on an amazing run this tournament. They beat Duke, they beat Marquette, they beat Baylor, they beat Florida. So it's not like they've gone through some easy teams, honestly, truly. Sindarius Thornwell has been great this tournament, the senior out of South Carolina. He's been averaging almost 24 points over the course of the tournament. And then we have Gonzaga, the team that has never made the Final Four before, even though they've been number 1 and number 2 seed. They beat Northwestern, they beat West Virginia, and they beat Xavier. I don't really know who exactly is going to win, but honestly, truly, I think Gonzaga is the better team. They have better big men, and if the big men can take over that game against South Carolina, their free throw shooting really won't be a concern. So right now, even though my heart says South Carolina, I think logic says Gonzaga will win it and go to the final.
And for the other Final Four matchup, the Oregon versus UNC matchup, it's number 1 seed versus number 3 seed. And here, they both had a very difficult path to get to the Final Four. UNC, while they had to go through Texas Southern, Arkansas, and then they had to go through both Butler and Kentucky, obviously with the Kentucky game being an instant classic. And Oregon had a very tough path and had to beat Kansas to make it, and the Elite Eight to make it to the Final Four. So both of these teams are battle-tested. However, I do think UNC has the advantage because of their big man. Oregon has only one big man. Now, granted, this big man is very, very good, but they only have one. North Carolina rotates 4 different big men, so I think it will be overwhelming. I feel like the only way Oregon can win is if Tyler Dorsey and Dillon Brooks catch fire from 3. But I don't think that will happen because of their North Carolina's defense, and so I'm going to predict North Carolina winning by probably 4 to 5 points.
Yeah, so my final is going to be North Carolina Gonzaga. And who's your final?
My final is going to be North Carolina Gonzaga as well.
Yeah, in the final, I honestly have Gonzaga winning it all. I think it's their time. I think that if UNC wins, it will have to be against Gonzaga for them to at least be considered something of a good team in redemption, as they lost to Villanova in a heartbreak last year. If they beat South Carolina in the final, or they don't make the final at all, they'll just be beating an easy team, and it won't be that big of a deal. But if they beat Gonzaga, that's what it's going to be. But I feel like Gonzaga, it's their time. They're the best team that Gonzaga has ever fielded, even though they fielded teams in 2008 with Olynyk, and then you had John Stockton in the 80s. So I think this is by far the best team that they've ever had. So I have Gonzaga winning it in a close game, 65-62.
It is going to be a low-scoring game. I think both of these teams are not that great of three-point shooters. And top of that, they're dominant. They're relying on their big men, right? Both teams have like 4 to 5 big men that they constantly rotate in. So it's going to be a battle with the big men. I have North Carolina winning it in a very close game. I'm thinking it's going to be 72-68, and it's going to come down to the wire. And it's going to be a great game. It surely is.
What about player of the tournament? Who do you have?
Player of the tournament, I'm going to have Luke May. He has been on a tear, and while he is not the best player, I mean, coming through in the clutch against Kentucky, he had 16 against Butler, 17 against Kentucky. I think he's just continuing his role.
My player of the tournament is going to have to be Sindarius Thornwell. He's carried that team throughout.
That's true.
Like,
That's true.
Without him, that team would be left in. They would have been beat by Marquette, and then who knows what would have happened with Duke. So I definitely think Sindarius Thornwell will be the player of the tournament, as he's a senior, and it's going to be an emotional night if they win or lose, no matter what, on Saturday. So let us know in the comments below, who do you think will win the NCAA tournament next Monday? And
don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video.